Sources of international law. Under sources of international law, already we completed four sources of international law. They are custom, treaties, general principles of law recognized by the civilized nations, judicial decisions. Up to that four we completed. Now we are going to discuss about fifth one, writings of jurists. So for better understanding, you can go through the playlist sources international law. In that playlist, there is a sequence of videos are there according to that order. If you follow, you can understand in better way. Let's come to the topic, writings of the jurists. These sources are laid down under Article 38 1D of the Statute of the International Court of Justice. Under this particular article, it is clearly mentioned that writings of jurists can be considered as a sources of international law. These sources may be resorted to a final resort, that is, when all the other sources have failed to resolve the dispute. In that particular circumstances, these fifth sources can be utilized to resolve the dispute. This is about writings of jurists. Means when other sources are unable to resolve the dispute at that particular circumstances, these fifth writings of jurists can be used to resolve the disputes. Writings of qualified jurists are very often cited in the decisions of the courts. Means in many cases, writings of jurists are used to resolve the decisions. In that, some of examples are diversion of water from the Musi case 1937, next Southwest Africa case, and interpretation of peace treaties case in 1950s. Both are 1950s case, Southwest Africa case and interpretation of peace treaties case. In these two cases and aerial incident case, in these particular cases, the writings of jurists are useful to resolve the disputes. So the famous jurists are Grotius, Vettel and Binkershock. These are famous jurists who are worked for development of international law. These jurists' writings have been quoted by the International Court of Justice and other international tribunals. That's the reason they are considered as a famous jurists. So along with these, some are also there, but out of these are publications are very often useful to resolve the disputes. That's the reason I mentioned only these three people. Here, jurist works are not an independent sources of law. Sometimes jurist opinions does lead the formation of international law. This is the main reason why writings of the jurists considered as a sources of international law. In already I mentioned the famous jurists. In that Grotius, if you observe Usmania University 2019 question paper, they are given a question in a short answer question, Hugo Grotius. Only they given Hugo Grotius. Means sometimes they mention the only jurist names. Based who are they, how they have worked. In that particular sense also question may come. So Hugo Grotius is a famous jurist who contribute his works in the development of international law. His works are more popular and more useful. That is the reason Grotius is called father of the law of the nations. Grotius infused the idea of natural law, that is, the law of reasoning, in the law of nations, because he considered that they are eternal and not changeable. His philosophy is natural law. International law is a natural law. So in upcoming topics we will go deeper about Hugo Grotius and his contributions and his works. So in the sources of international, up to here is enough. So that we have to mention these points is more enough under sources of international law, writings of jurists. Hope you understand. Thank you.